around town, radio.com. And also, you can check us out, the WCCO video presentation. I know Corey was on it earlier today with Rashini. I am on it right now with the man in charge of basketball operations for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Gersson Rosas. You want to see us? Couple different ways. Facebook at WCCO Radio and Twitter at WCCO Radio. For the first time in franchise history, the Timberwolves have moved up in the lottery. They didn't move up to 3. They didn't move up to 2. They moved up to number 1. And Gersson is with us. Okay. Paint the scene. How many of you are together as you're watching the lottery unfold, Gersson?
Oh, we were fortunate to have Coach Saunders with us, along with most of our executive group that are in town. There was probably like 6, 7 of us, and we're living in a different time and age, so we wanted to be responsible, social distance with masks, but we definitely needed to be together. We had just christened our new draft war room there, and it's a good way to start the tenure there with winning the lottery.
They take a commercial break, and they still have to eliminate a couple more teams. Did that feel like about a 2.5-hour commercial break when you're trying to figure out what was going on?
That was the most painful part. A is seeing a couple of teams jump up when Chicago and Charlotte moved.
Yeah.
There was change in play. And then the commercial break just kills you because you're ready just to figure things out. But for the most part, we're a pretty level-headed group. You don't control this process. You don't control lottery balls. But as we got to that final 4, and 4 was revealed, 3 was revealed, the intensity was pretty high. You're going to end up in a good situation at 1 or 2, but at the same time, the competitor in you wants to finish first. And there was the burst out of excitement, and I'm sure Timberwolves fans felt it all over the place. But as soon as we saw Golden State's envelope open up, we knew it was our time. So it was a lot of fun. This organization has gone through a lot. This community has gone through a lot, especially here over the last 5-6 months, and it was a very bright spot for all of us, and hopefully our fans can rally around that.
There is, even for a president of basketball operations, a buzz, an elation, a draining when you go through a game, and it's not easy to turn that off, right? I'm sure for hours and hours each game, it's going through your head. Did you have some of that same feeling last night after the lottery ended, and all of a sudden now the capital that you have is so dramatically different?
It's something that from my seat, you yearn for it. You want the resources, and you want the opportunity to impact the building of an organization. And it's what we've preached from day one. And looking back to see where our organization is at, we've changed out 13 of the 15 players. We've been able to add D'Angelo Russell to Karl-Anthony Towns. We've got guys that we feel are part of our core, and Malik Beasley, Jarrett Culver, Josh Okogie, Juancho Hernan-Gomez that were acquired here at the trade deadline. We got good vets. We're very confident in Jake Layman and James Johnson, but this is a significant step forward. And whether that means picking the number 1 pick or trading that pick, it's a significant step forward for our organization, and it gives us an opportunity to add high-level talent to our program at a stage that's critical. I mean, Chad, you know this. You've been around a long time. There's still a lot of work left to do, and I think we realize that, we understand that, but we're not skipping any steps. We're trying to make sure that the little things, the foundation is built the right way, and then you're able to take advantage of opportunities like this. And we're going to be very diligent. We're going to be very thorough as we prepare for the draft, and we prepare for any opportunity to improve the team through the draft and through the offseason.
I looked this up last night, Gersson. This will be the 32nd draft that the Wolves have been a part of. I think most would agree with me. Maybe 1 or 2 could be a disagreement, but 22 of the 31 drafts, the number 1 pick was a consensus. Was almost an automatic that no matter the team, they would have selected Zion, LeBron, Yao Ming, Shaq, take your pick. This year is viewed differently. How will you try to, when you're just talking about the players, and I'll get to the trades in a second, how is that process going right now? And how has it changed in trying to figure out who is the best fit of the players out there without, at least at this point, to the public, maybe not to you, that there isn't just an automatic number one?
Yeah. I appreciate the question, Chad, because I think it's something that we definitely have to talk through. But the reality is, if you look at any draft, there's talent in every draft. To say, hey, at this point in time, there's no number one or top two prospects or top three prospects, whatever the case may be, easily identified. I think you have to look at the background. And we're sitting in a situation where we're in a pandemic. A lot of the atypical situations that have happened as a result of that have changed the process. But for us, we see good talent in this draft, and even in past drafts, maybe the ones that you mentioned didn't have a clear choice. There's been incredible talent.
Sure.
People reference the Anthony Bennett draft. Guess who also went in that draft? The reigning MVP that's playing in our league. Yeah. So that responsibility falls on us. There's talent in every draft. We have to do the work. We have to find the best player available that we can bring to Minnesota to become a Timberwolf. But we're very diligent in our processes, whether it's scouting or analytics. Our guys have been on it now for, the last year or so as we've been here. But it's a timely process. We've got to make the right decision there in the draft. And then it's a multi-year process in terms of the development and the team coming together. But at the end of the day, I would say it's something that we're very excited about. The draft is a process that allows you to move your organization forward, and we're very confident in our ability to be prepared draft night and to make the most educated decision that we're going to make towards that pick. But it doesn't affect me as much. I think the timing is different. Being in the pandemic and not having your typical workouts, your typical combine, that makes it challenging, but it's challenging for every team. The benefit we've had is we've had more time. I think the level of players that we've interviewed, talked to, done background, done scouting on is pretty deep at this point in time. And we've got another couple months as we prepare for it. So we're excited. In my seat, you always want the opportunity, and we have it now. Now we've got to go make the most of it.
You've talked about from the opening press conference, you will be aggressive, that you're here to put together the best available roster, and trades will be considered. Can you say on your team that anyone on that roster is in the untradeable category? That no matter what some team would offer, that individual A or individuals A and B will not even be discussed in a trade?
I mean, I would start off by saying 1 through 15, every player that's on our roster is here for a reason. And I think we went through significant change at the trade deadline. And as we've put this group together, there is a reason why every one of those individuals is on our team. I think we have a couple of young all-stars in Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell that we value incredibly. And those guys are our building blocks. And, we expect great things from them. And a big part of our team building is to make sure that as they reach their primes, we have the right talent and the best players around them. So, that's our goal. That's our focus. But, I think our history has shown, whether it's last year at the draft, this year at the trade deadline, we're going to be incredibly aggressive. And we're going to look at every opportunity to continue to add talent to this group. And that's just the stage that we're at. We're not at a point where you can just say, hey, we've got what we need. We're locked in. We're moving forward. We have to continue to add. We have to continue to develop, and we have to continue to grow this team. And that's my job day in, day out.
Gersson Rosas, president of basketball operations for the Timberwolves, is with us. You can hear us obviously on CCO Radio, and also see us, the video presentation on Twitter and Facebook at WCCO Radio. Gersson, you have in Cat and D'Lo 2 core pieces. There is a debate that's taking place right now. I want you to chime in from what you can say. Do you think you still need another upper level, high end talent, or do you think you need players that can complement what you have in Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell?
This number one, this is a star driven league, and the era that we're in historically in the West is incredible. I mean, the level of competition, the level of talent. I do believe, my goal, my philosophy is to add as much high end talent as we can find, because that just simplifies the process for an organization. So for us, I want to be able to find as many all stars, superstars as we can to build together. The reality is that's very hard, and it's difficult process to do. But our job is to surround those two guys with as much talent as we can, and while continuing to build a complementary roster, not only around them, but that complements our philosophy and our style of play on both sides of the floor. So we'll be star hunting here until we can get to a place where we're competing for a championship, and that takes time, that takes effort. But we got the history of this league shows the more stars you have, the more high end talent you can get, the better chances you have to be successful at a championship level.
Have you received a phone call from any other organizations since last night?
I think it's pretty fresh, but we've got about a 2-month period here that we'll work through, and believe you me, whether it's inbound or outbound, we will contact all the other 29 teams in this league, and we'll make sure if there's a fit or not with any of those teams in order to make the most educated decision we can make.
I saw on Twitter from my good friend Doogie Wolfson that he had talked to Ryan Saunders, said Ryan was up very early working with Karl-Anthony Towns. Can you just give us an update how Karl is doing, and in particular how his wrist is doing, which caused the end of his season last year?
Health-wise, he's doing good. I mean, he's on the floor, he's working out. To be fair to him, he's gone through a pretty traumatic experience losing his mother to COVID, and it's something we're supporting him through. And it's a process. It takes time. Everybody handles it differently, but he's been incredible for us. He's been in the community. He's been here in Minneapolis most of the summer, most of the off season. We've been in daily contact with him, and he's doing all he can to get back when we're able to play. But it's been great. It's great to have him in the gym. It's great to have him working out. The opportunity to continue to build off of him as a special player in our league, and as unique as he is incredibly important for us. So he's doing well. He's working through everything and making sure that he's ready to go when the lights come on and it's time for us to start next season.
Gersson, thanks so much for coming on with short notice, especially with the video presentation. Stay healthy. Best of luck to your family. We'll stay in touch. It's a very intriguing and exciting time for the Wolves off last night. Thanks a lot, Gersson.
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate the opportunity.